If you're praying for a car, you may want to clean your garage. Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. If you're new around here, please smash the subscribe button. If you appreciate the content, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Coach Prime, Colorado Buffs merch at the TLP Sports Club Amazon storefront. The link is on your screen. That's enough business for me. Let's work. Do you know what having a seat at the table looks like? Oftentimes we ask for a seat at the table, but I don't know that we understand fully what that looks like and what that means. President Obama asked us to be the change that we want to see, but do we really understand what those things mean? I don't know that we are often ready for the prayers that we pray. I'm going to botch this. I'm going to mess this up. I know, but there's a saying. Somebody was praying for something, and then all of a sudden, they started losing friends. Something to that effect. When we ask for change or when we pray for something, we often forget that we prayed for that thing. And then when change starts to happen around us, we start to question, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Because when we pray for things, the effect of that prayer, for that prayer to happen, for change to come about, things have to move. You can't pray for the mountain to move and don't think that the rivers and the fish that are in those rivers and things that are in the valley to not have some type of shaking or some type of effect because of the moving of that mountain. What I'm saying is, if you're praying for something to happen, you have to be willing to accept what comes along to help you to change in order for whatever you're praying for to arrive. If you're praying for a car, you may want to clean your garage. Coach Prime made a change to get a seat at the table. A seat at the table for Coach Prime has given him an opportunity to bring all of his kids to experience a great university, to experience something different, to hire so many black coaches, giving them opportunities. There's another video that came out about him having an opportunity to bring some young ladies from Jackson State to this video right here.
How y'all like the view?
It is so pretty. You can't pay for a view like that.
No. You can't pay for a view. Look at that. You see the ski slopes.
The dogs is gonna take off running when they cage them.
We ready. We start tomorrow.
We ready. We coming.
For real.
We coming.
For real.
We here.
Having the opportunity to hire so many black coaches, being able to help these young ladies, being able to bring others along, being able to give opportunities to students at a Power 5 school and conference. These are some of the opportunities that having a seat at the table provides. Having a seat at the table also provides opportunities outside of that. Like Coach Prime is providing opportunities unseen that he doesn't even know about. There are media companies popping up all over the place, YouTube channels that are dedicated to his process, using his name and his likeness for the algorithm to make money, to feed families. My YouTube channel is dedicated to that. I'm prospering off of Coach Prime. He's helping me to prosper, to make a living. That's not a secret. There's other YouTube channels having the same opportunity. So having a seat at the table provides a lot of opportunities. With all these opportunities and all of these things that are happening, it really makes his detractors, it makes the DDs argument really weak. Their argument is now very weak because all of these things are happening. You cannot see all of these things and still say you a sellout. Because if that's what a sellout looks like, then I think a lot more of us need to sell out. Because we can't keep crying for change, but then when the change comes, we say, oh no, we don't want to sell out. I don't see it as a sellout. If you're going to call that a sellout, then the way that you think maybe needs to change. Maybe your paradigm needs to shift for things to happen. Change is not always going to come in the way that you expect it to come. The things that you pray for are not always going to come the way that you want them to come. You don't expect to lose your best friend when you pray for something specific and then your best friend leaves or something happens. Maybe your best friend was holding you up. And we don't know these things, but God works in mysterious ways. We start praying and then things start to shift around. If we want that mountain to move, then the river starts to shake and the fish start to jump up because something has to happen in order for that mountain to actually move. All of these opportunities that Coach Prime is providing, it's providing another type of opportunity that I wanted to bring to your attention. The opportunity to have conversations, opening windows and opening opportunities, opening ways for us to actually communicate with other people that we don't normally communicate with. A young man made a video. It was an investigative video. The video was titled, "This $500 million company is backing Deion Sanders for NIL." In fair use, let me play your clip out of this video and then I'll continue.
As you're aware, Coach Prime has now landed back-to-back #1 cornerbacks in the country. And if we don't think NIL has something to do with it, you're crazy. I do believe that Coach Prime does provide a lot of value in recruiting and to these kids into their future, but I gotta be honest, NIL definitely has a factor in this as well. Just so you guys have an understanding, the On3 has NIL valuations of these kids. For Travis Hunter, he's evaluated right now at $731,000. I think that's per year. Now, how that's based on is based on his following, meaning essentially saying that if a company were to reach out to him, that is what his worth is and what they should be paying him to use any type of branding deal. Now, as for Kermani McLean, again, he's new, he's fresh, he's new to the game. His evaluation is $350,000, I think just a little bit north of that, which now that adds up to $1 million in just 2 players. And just a few months ago, Colorado's AD goes, yeah, we're going to figure it out. We're going to find the money.
Well, look, we don't have the money yet, but I know we'll have it.
Now we're giving 2 kids essentially $1 million worth in NIL valuation. We're not talking about his son or any other Louis Vuitton bags that Deion Sanders has brought along. How is Coach Prime covering this? Is he paying it from his own pocket? I don't think so, because that would essentially be pay to play. Look, I know it sounds like pay to play, but they are finding loopholes in this by finding third-party companies to basically stroke a deal with these kids. It's an NIL brand deal, but we all know exactly what it is. Hey, we're going to pay you X to go play here. Sweet. We'll see you there.
Okay, the young man's name is Shelton. His channel is Hot Top Sports. Has like 10,000 plus subscribers. I felt a little weird about this video and I wasn't gonna comment or say anything. But then I went down to the comments and people were having some issues with the video and people were unsubscribing. And I felt like this was an opportunity. This was a moment for us to start a dialogue. Another creator made a video response on this video. I don't want to call their name. I don't know if they're okay with me calling their name. Probably know who I'm talking about. They made a video talking about this. They didn't mention Shelton's name. I understand that we all have to do creative titling and creative thumbnails to make you guys watch our videos. Just from the title alone is troubling because I'm an open-minded person. I try not to jump to conclusion no matter how bad it looks. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'll hear you out first. If what I'm hearing is true, I will address you accordingly. Because I'm a media guy and because I understand this world and how it works. A lot of the things that were said in that video, I found it troubling, so I reached out. I said, bro, from another investigative reporter, I want to know what your intentions are on this video. I'm checking your content to see if you follow the money on all coaches or if Coach Prime is the only one you're investigating. You're asking if Coach Prime is footing the bill as if Coach Prime is sponsoring the university as a coach. Also insinuating that Coach Prime is doing some type of pay for play. Bruh, you skating on thin ice on this one. BWB, Bandwagon Buffs, we are strong and we watching people who gonna tarnish the name of Coach Prime. I hope you plan on following the money on other coaches or this might seem like you're targeting or profiling and underhand throwing mud on this man's name. When you use the term pay for play, you throwing shade or mud in case you don't know that. I'm a media guy, so I'm very versed on payola. Be careful how you throw that word around while you're mentioning a prominent figure in the black community because we don't get many on this level. If we get one on this level and he's killing it and people starting to come for him, just know we got channels set up like mine that'll check you. We don't sit idly by to see our leaders targeted and tarnished. I want to know your intentions and not jump to conclusion because I actually like your channel and support you. And he replied and says, really appreciate your comment, man. I can assure you I'm not tarnishing Coach Prime in any way. I have spoke about Miami, Jimbo, and the Florida and how they have handled NIL. I think what is being misconstrued is that I am claiming this as a negative. All schools are being backed by a third party. I have no issue with it. It's the path of college football. I believe all schools are and have been doing some. Schools are operating smart and using a third party. Again, I have no issue with it. I have spoke on mine and other platform on this. Follows up by saying, I'm more than happy to chat with you on an open forum about this as well. I think a discussion like this is healthy. So I say, all right, cool. I agree. I think a discussion like this is healthy. I found it respectful and honorable for him to offer or extend the invitation to have a discussion. And that's what I want to point out. This is the Coach Prime effect. This is what's happening with Coach Prime. Coach Prime is not a divide and conquer type of person. Coach Prime is a person that's inclusive. Coach Prime's followers are not just black people. Coach Prime has a massive following and they're all kinds of colors. Coach Prime is not uncomfortable at Colorado University because they're majority white people. Coach Prime doesn't care. He's not really worried about that. We're probably going to be the only ones making a fuss about black and white. I made a video that says, is Coach Prime too black for Colorado? The thing about titling is the video wasn't doing that well until I gave it that name. But in that video, it has nothing really to do with the fact that he's too black for Colorado. It's just I've made it that title so people can give that video a chance. What I've noticed is a lot of people are arguing, a lot of people are commenting on that video only based on the name. They're not watching the video and seeing all the questions that I'm asking. In that video, I feel like a lot of us are ready for change. A lot of young white kids, a lot of young black kids are ready ready for change. A seat at the table for Coach Prime looks like us having a discussion. This is not a racial thing. I'm grateful that Shelton is the one that actually reached out and said, hey, listen, let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. The discussion is going to happen on Monday at 7:35 p.m. We're going to go live. We're going to be on the platform where you can call in and you can voice your opinion. We'll have a live chat. You can put your questions in the chat. As long as you keep it respectful, we can have an honest discussion about not just that situation, but I can bring up some questions and see if we can just move the dialogue along. This is a beautiful opportunity for us to just have a conversation. We can sit on our side and scream at them, and they can sit on their side and scream at us. But if there is a misunderstanding or a miscommunication and we come to the table and discuss, that is a beautiful thing that can bring some change along. I'm all for that. I am so ready for change. I'm so ready to take that old guard and tell them to move out of the way so that we can start talking. This is the Coach Prime effect. Coach Prime is allowing this dialogue to happen. Even amongst YouTubers are willing to come together and have a dialogue. I feel like this is the Coach Prime effect. Coach Prime is doing this without even knowing. Coach Prime is doing a lot for the culture. That's why I wanted to come on here today and invite you to join the conversation. I understand this conversation may not be comfortable for everybody because some people like want to talk to the guy that's talking against Coach Prime. If that's where you're at, then you're not ready for change because Coach Prime would not take that position. Coach Prime would be like, this is beautiful. Let's have the conversation. Let's hear them out. Let them hear us out. And then we can say, oh, okay, that's where we stand. A lot of things can come from the standpoint of miscommunication or I just made a YouTube video. I wasn't thinking anything racial. It has nothing to do with that. I just made a mistake and I shouldn't have said certain things that I said. We can clear that up on this live video on Monday at 7:35 p.m. The Coach Prime effect is in effect. And this is what having a seat at the table looks like in its rarest form. So I hope that you would join me. If Shelton made a mistake, then he made a mistake and I want to just hold him at just making a mistake. Let it not be that other thing. If he's going to own his word and own that video, then fine. Then let's say, okay, fine. But explain. Let's start being the change that we want to see. Let's start employing some of these things that Coach Prime is doing, like not being divide and conquer. Let's start allowing some of these conversations to happen. There may be uncomfortable conversations. These are the conversations that's going to move the culture in the right direction. He has more to lose than I have because he has way more subscribers than me. He did not have to do this. So I really appreciate the opportunity to come on his platform. He's going to come on my platform. We're both going to collaborate and have this discussion. You guys can ask your questions to move this culture along. That's what I stand for. Here at TLP Sports Club, we're not going to stay here and throw darts. We're always going to be open-minded and understand that a seat at the table is not just going to be opportunities for us, but it's going to be opportunity for the whole culture. 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. It's Harry B with TLP Sports Club. Brah.